Today I was messing around in the Photoshops and stumbled upon a fun little effect setup that I thought kind of reminded me of old glitchy video arts. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Duran with DuranSupply.com, here to help you design smarter, not harder. Come along with me to make this glitchy VHS effect in Photoshop. We're going to start by making a new document. It's going to be 5 by 15 pixels. Let's click create, zoom in all the way here with Command 0. We're going to take our ellipse tool here and draw out a 3 by 5 little ellipse here. And then we're going to do Command T to bring up transform controls and just rotate that 90 degrees. Then duplicate this with Command J and go up to filter, blur, and then Gaussian blur. We'll convert it to a smart object and set the radius of the blur to around 1 to 1.5 here. Press OK on that, and then duplicate this layer again with Command J. Make sure to delete the background layer here. Then let's do Command A on our keyboard and go up to Edit, Define Pattern to create this pattern. And we're going to name this Scan Line. Press OK on that. Now let's go ahead and make a new document. This one's going to be 2000 by 2000 pixels, or it could really be any size you want. This is just the size I'm using for this video. We'll click Create here, and then we'll make a new layer in this document and turn that into a smart object. But first, I'm going to name this Image, and then we'll go right-click it and convert to Smart Object. Then let's throw in that pattern. So in your Patterns dialog, which you can access by going to Window and then Patterns, go ahead and click on that pattern to bring it in here. It's going to automatically clip to the layer, so just hold down Alt or Option on your keyboard and click in between them to unclip that. Open this up and set the scale of this to 60 and press OK. Now open up this Image Smart Object, and here is where you're going to throw in your image. So I'm going to be using this photo that I found on Pexels. Once you've got that in there, do Command S to save that smart object. Let's go back into our parent document here. Now we're actually going to take the crop tool right here and just drag out all these sides of our document here just to make it a little bit larger, because we're going to account for some bleed in the pattern. It's going to make more sense later. So just drag that out a little bit. You can hold down Alt to drag from the corners, and that will set the anchor point in the center. We're going to click OK here, or click that check mark. Then go ahead and right click this pattern fill and convert that to a smart object. Then we want to crop this back to the normal size. So we're going to hold down Command or Control on our keyboard and hover over the thumbnail of the image layer here and click on that. It's going to create a selection around the borders of that image. Then with the crop tool, just click that again. It's going to automatically crop to the bounds of our selection. So just press enter there. Now on this image smart object, let's go up to filter, blur, and then Gaussian blur. Let's set this to anywhere from 10 to 15, press OK, and then in the blending options of that smart filter, go ahead and set the blend mode to screen, press OK on that. Then go up to filter again, blur, and then box blur. We're going to do a box blur of 6 pixels here. Then do Command I on your keyboard to invert, and then let's bring up the levels panel with Command L, and we're just going to drag the black handle and the midtones handle to the right a little bit. Press OK there, and then hide the levels and hide the invert on this image smart object. We'll bring this layer above the pattern fill. I'm going to close this effect dialog here and hold down Alt or Option on my keyboard and click in between these two layers to clip that image to the pattern fill lines. Then select both of these and do Command G on your keyboard to put it in a group. Then duplicate that group 2 times with Command J on your keyboard. We also want to go in one of these groups and select the image and hold down Alt and drag that on top of everything so we have an extra duplicate on top here. We're going to hide that for now. Next, we're going to name these groups. So let's do R on the first one, G on the second, and B on the third. Then go into each of these groups and click on the image smart object and check only the channel that corresponds to that group. So on the first group, we're just going to check the R channel. So check off all the other ones, G and B. Only the R should be checked. And then similarly on the other ones, we're going to check off everything but G. And on the third one, everything but B. So let's check these off, press OK. Then let's make sure the background down here is black. So I'm going to do Command I to invert that white background and make it black. Now we want to align each of these pattern fills to make nice RGB scan lines. So I'm going to turn off the top one, B right here, and we're going to focus on R and G. So on R, I'm going to click this pattern fill layer. I'm going to zoom in a bit, and then with the arrow keys on my keyboard, I'm just going to shift this down a little bit until it's right next to the green lines right here. You can also do it upwards, doesn't really matter. Then let's go and check back on the blue group and click on the pattern fill layer within there, and also move this until we have these clean cut RGB scan lines in order. Now when you zoom out, you see we have a pretty cool effect going on already. So now let's go into the R group here, and we're going to check on the invert. We're also going to check on the levels, but this is something you can come back to and adjust as per your image. You can see the effect starting to build here. Now let's close these groups and select all of them and change the blend mode of all of them to linear dodge add. And here's where you can have some fun with it. So now we're going to take any one of these groups and just move it around with our mouse or with the arrows on our keyboard and just get a nice sort of aberrated effect. So we're just sort of doing an offset between each of the channels, and it creates a really nice glitchy effect. So the green, I'm just moving that out to the right a little bit. The red, I could shift to the left or up or down. This is all, up to your preference. And now we're starting to get this really, really cool sort of glitchy embossed effect. And all that's left to do is clean it up a little bit. So on this top image here that we previously duplicated out on top of everything, we're going to check that on now. We'll open up these smart filters here and turn on that invert, and then go to the blending options of that invert and set the blend mode to difference. Press OK here. Then set the blend mode of this layer to soft light, and the opacity is up to your discretion. I'm going to go and put it to 60 here. And now we're getting a really, really cool inverted glitchy, I don't even know what to call this, really cool effect. It's sort of like an RGB solarized, I don't know, but it's really awesome. Finally, on top of this layer, I'm going to throw a levels adjustment, and I just want to make this whole thing a bit brighter and make it pop some more. So I'm going to drag the white handle to the left. That's going to pretty much saturate everything just a little more and bring out a little more brightness in this graphic. The colors are now really starting to shine. It looks great. One final little adjustment you can do is add a hue and saturation layer, and I'm going to drag this below the image layer but above the RGB groups. And here you can just mess with the hue and saturation to get a cool gradiented effect. I like dragging it a bit to the right here. Sort of turns those reds into a nice sunset orange. Really, really nice. You can also totally go color by color here and adjust that to your liking. So maybe I wanted to bump the blues up a little bit more, or change the hue of that specifically, or the magentas or the reds. You have a lot of control here. One thing you can also do is mess with the levels or invert on any one of these other groups like the G and the B. So we could turn on the invert here and get sort of a really, really cool, bright, colorful, I guess avant-garde little glitch effect. You can also just mess with the levels to fine tune that. And again, same thing with the blue group here, do as you see fit. This actually looks really cool with the invert turned on as well. Or maybe I want more blues in this, so I'll check on the levels and then drag these to the left. That's going to brighten up those blues some more, which is a nice look. And the great thing about this is that you can now open up this smart object and throw pretty much whatever image you want in here and have that same effect across that image. So I'm going to paste in this image, click save, and back in our parent document, again, we're getting that really, really cool and interesting VHS glitch effect. And maybe I want some different colors on this one. I'm at liberty to change that with the hue and saturation or any of the other adjustments in here. Or I can go in and sort of move around these groups until I find a better looking sort of emboss effect for this. And once I'm all done, I could totally select all of these, including the background, and make it into a smart object and add some glow if I want. So I can go up to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, set the radius to something, I don't know, and then open up the blending options and set that to screen, and now we have some glow going on here. And by the way, you can totally go back in and change the scale of the pattern if you want fatter scan lines or a more detailed effect, just by opening up the pattern smart object and then changing the scale or whatever you need to change in the pattern fill layer here. And that's a wrap. I really love the versatility of this effect. I think it's a really cool little setup. I like that not only is it super quick to do, you can also go in and change that image very easily and get this effect on pretty much whatever you want. So that's all I got for you for today. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, make sure to let me know by leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. I got a really, really fun video for y'all next week, and I'm really excited to show it. So definitely stay tuned and click on that little notification bell so that you're notified whenever I upload a video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.